The year is 2024. PBS Plus has just launched, bringing the world's streaming services to 4,387. How can anyone be expected to go through all this content? Fear not, loyal passengers. Captain Joe Shoes and his first mate Mez are here to travel through space and time to bring you the best nuggets pop culture has to offer. Strap in, folks. It's time for the JoeMeZ podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 389 of the JoeMeZ podcast. I'm Mez, and my co-host, as always, is
the magistrate of Caravan City. I am Captain Joe Shoes from the JoeMeZ podcast.
Yeah, you are, buddy. What's up? How you doing, bro?
Gomez, I'm feeling a little bit better. Still got a little bit of a cough, like the lingering effects of a cough, a little, little sore throat there. But I'm back in action, like the Looney Tunes. And I wanted to ask you a question. How, like, when you go on the social media sites, you get those suggested content, right? They give you like the reels or the short videos. What kind of videos do you normally get in your suggested feed? Because I feel like my algorithm just completely changed recently.
So normally it's some cooking stuff, it's wrestling, and big booty white girls. Recently, I looked at a fucking duck video or something. Now I'm getting fucking duck content. I'm getting a lot of ducks coming in my feed.
So
bro.
For a while now, I've been getting all this content with people cutting steaks, like the butchers. Okay. And I'm like, I'm not a butcher myself, but this is interesting. Sure. And I know all about the marbling, and I know what sections you cut into the cow to make different steaks now. I'm a steak genius, a steakist. But now I feel like the times they are changing. I'm seeing less and less steak and more wildlife showdowns in the animal kingdom.
I mean, that's fun too, but where did that come
The animals are alive for part of the video until, like, an alligator tries to take liberties on a baby hippopotamus, and then like the whole flock of hippopotami.
I saw that one. Yeah. Like, what are you doing, crocodile? What are you doing? You're so stupid. And they came, they fucked him up, bro. It was crazy.
But he ate the shit out of that baby hippo.
Yes, he did. He did, but he got fucking.
He paid for it. He died.
He paid for it. I hope he enjoyed that baby hippo.
It's like if you say, "What's your last meal going to be?" Baby hippo. Yep, sign me up.
A hippo. There's a lot. I wonder what a hippo tastes like. What do you think?
I feel it's very fatty though.
Right, it's very fatty.
It's nothing I would want. No.
Yeah, I don't know if I want that. All right, we won't eat hippos.
Thank you guys for listening to the JoeMeZ podcast. Remember to subscribe to this show wherever it is that you're listening to it, or if you're watching on YouTube at youtube.com/@JoeMeZ Remember to join our Facebook group. It's free. Simply search JoeMeZ podcast on Facebook and join in the conversation. We're always talking about what we like, what we're watching, what's going on, and follow us on all the social media at JoeMeZ. And Gomez, we are beginning our March Madness a day early.
Yeah, just a little early. It's the damn leap year. It's messing everything up, bro. That extra day. What are we doing?
But it gives us an opportunity to get more in. If there's one thing I like to do, it's get more in.
Who doesn't love getting it in? Come on.
So we watched 2 movies this week, and we're in the basketball bracket. So we watched Blue Chips. We watched Spike Lee's He Got Game. But Gomez, before we even get into any of that, hit the breaking news music.
Whoa! Breaking news. Oh, man, I'm excited to have you back with the breaking news, baby. Tell me, what's going on?
I tell you all the time, when news breaks, I'm the one who fixes it. And we're going to begin with Wendy's. If you are listening to this on drop day, if you're listening to this on Thursday, leap day, Gomez, Wendy's is giving out free Cinnabon pull-aparts.
What?
Now they're doing this thing. It's like mini Cinnabon pieces, like bites, Cinnabon
Oh,
bites
so
in a
like they
cup.
ripped it up. Okay,
And it got
interesting.
the frosting all over it.
Ooh,
They're giving it away for free on Leap Day. No purchase required, but it
no
is
purchase required.
only during breakfast hours.
Oh, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna write that down here. Thursday, because I love a cinnamon. I love me a cinnamon roll, baby.
Now,
The best.
I would suggest
Ooh,
choose to hold on to this. If you don't
okay.
like it, send it
Yeah.
right on back.
All
I
right.
would
I'm
suggest
listening.
paying for the extra frosting.
I figured that. Yeah. All right. Especially if you're getting it for free. Yeah.
Yep.
I can
I
see
would
it.
suggest pay for the extra frosting. And Gomez, a couple weeks ago, we spoke about the Wendy's breakfast burrito with the Cholula hot
Yes.
sauce. It's
Yes, we
brand
did.
new. And guess what?
What?
Your double main man has tried it out. And if you go to
Ooh.
youtube.com/JoeShoes right now, you can watch my video review. But I will spoil one thing, Gomez. They forgot my hot sauce.
What the? Wait, Joe. What's the name of the thing again? What's it called?
So I thought it was the Cholula breakfast burrito.
Okay.
But as we discussed previously, the Cholula sauce comes in packets on the side. Now, I ordered on the app, put yes, give me packets.
Yes.
And I went through the drive-through. I sit down to record my video. I'm all into it. I go in that bag. There's no Cholula hot sauce.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
Oh, that's so fucked up. Oh, I guess we're gonna have to try it again one day, huh? You gotta.
You're not gonna have to twist my arm to try this
There you
burrito
go.
again.
Damn. Oh, spoiler there, folks.
But definitely go check out that video. Make sure you subscribe over at youtube.com/JoeShoes. Another thing that I'm looking forward to, Gomez, this is gonna be an oddball thing. You're gonna think I'm wilding right now. Hidden Valley, Gomez, the salad dressing company.
Yeah, what about?
Why do I give a shit?
I'm wondering. I'm really wondering here.
They are doing a collab with your double main snack, Cheez-Its.
What the fuck is going on?
They are coming out with a cheesy ranch dressing, dip, condiment, whatever you want to call it. It comes in a squirt bottle, like their regular dressings. You can pour it out. You could dip some Tostitos in there, whatever it is that your heart desires. Some chicken tenders, maybe some chicken wings, maybe some chicken fingers. Your favorite shape of chickens you can dip in the cheesy ranch.
Cheesy ranch. Now, see, I'm not a ranch guy. All right, so
I am.
It's okay.
I'm a big ranch guy.
Are you excited? Like this cheese in your ranch excites you?
I'm very interested.
Okay, because I don't know. To me, it sounds weird, but like I said, I'm not a ranch guy, so maybe you think it works. Because
the issue with me is like I'm not going to cook anything myself that will necessitate a dipping sauce. So I will basically have to go to a restaurant and bring a bottle of cheesy ranch with me.
Boy, the looks you would get whipping that out of your pocket. What
no, thank you, Hooters waitress. I have my own sauce to test out.
Cheesy ranch. Oh, okay. Well, if you ever try that, let me. If anyone tries it, let me know because I'm not gonna fucking try it. My little brother loves ranch. I gotta ask if he's into this.
And Gomez, I think this next one is a big ticket item. Maybe not necessarily price wise, but for interest wise. And you know me, they call me the inspector of interest. So that's why KFC now available. As you listen to this, you can go get it. The KFC Cheeza. CHIZZA. It is combination chicken, combination pizza, 2 extra crispy fillets, marinara sauce, mozzarella cheese, and pepperoni. It's a pizza, but on chicken. It's a cheesa.
This is fucking amazing, bro. I'm ready to stop.
Welcome to the fucking future,
now.
Boys.
Right fucking now. I'm about to stop this. Holy shit. Are you kidding me? That's just, why don't I do that? This is just, I'm going. I mean, I'm pulling up the app right now, bro. I'm pulling up the app.
I'm so excited.
Wow.
So obviously that video, I'm going to try it out as soon as I get the chance. Make sure you subscribe to youtube.com/JoeShoes to see my review video on that. I am super hyped for that. So as soon as I get the opportunity, I'm going out and getting it.
Yep. Only like, oh my goodness. How much is this thing? Oh, baby. So this thing is $10.99.
Ooh,
Woo!
that's a little stiff. Maybe it
Little
really
stiff.
it is a big ticket item.
The breasts are expensive, right? If you get a chicken breast at KFC,
I mean,
it's expensive.
I've been told that by many people over the years.
I'm still gonna try it. I'm ordering it to pick up for 8:30. Here we go.
So that's all the food news I got, but I do have one bit of entertainment news that we didn't touch on last week when we probably should have, seeing as how meaningful it's going to be to both of us.
I already know what it's going to be. I knew it. I said, as soon as the podcast ended last week, I said, I forgot to fucking bring up the goddamn trailer. Oh my God. Joseph.
X-Men 97, JoeMeZ.
Yes. I was so hyped for it. I showed Kelly in. She was hyped. This house is like, when's it dropping? Let's go. We are so excited for some X-Men 97.
It seems like everyone's on the same page, right? If you grew up in that era, if you've ever watched it, I watched it recently, semi-recently on Disney Plus. I think the first couple seasons are still really good, still really entertaining. So I'm definitely on board with this. The biggest complaint I've seen, if there is a complaint, is that Wolverine doesn't sound the same. But it's the same. It's the same voice actor. He's just 27 years older.
Sure, I get that. Yeah, it did sound a little weird, but I'm not expecting. Like, I get it. I figured they had someone new just trying to do that voice.
It's the same guy. I believe his name is Cal Dodd, but he's the same thing.
Well, so but it is. Yeah, almost 30 years. I get it, bro. Yeah. Times are tough.
So I'm really excited. There's one bit in the trailer that I thought was like insane, where I would like that meme of like Sami Zayn with the popcorn just flipping out all over, where Gambit jumps on Wolverine's back and then he charges Wolverine. So now Wolverine's claws have that Gambit power.
Crazy,
I was like, hook this shit to my veins, baby. I need this in my life.
I love the teaser at the end with Magneto, like, I'm in charge of the school. It's like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? I'm so fired up. I love me some X-Men, and we haven't had X-Men, especially good X-Men, in quite a while. It's been a pretty long time, Joe.
You know, the Apocalypse movie was bad.
Yes.
But Days of Future Past wasn't terrible by any means.
That's a long time
ago.
Baby.
Yeah, I get it.
That's what I mean.
But
it's been a while.
It's been 24 years since the X-Men came to movie screens, right? And really transformed the superhero genre. But they've given us, I think, a decent amount of quality content in that time. X-Men, the first one was surpassed all expectations. I think X2 was even better.
Yeah,
X-Men 3, maybe not so much, but First Class I like a lot. Days of Future Past I like a lot. Like I said, Apocalypse not the best, but you're talking out of 6 movies, 2. What else is there?
The Dark Phoenix one.
Oh, that wasn't good.
Yeah, that wasn't good. But I get it. So yeah,
but then
the batting average is good. Yeah,
Logan. Everybody likes Logan. I think I like it even less than other people. X-Men Origins Wolverine was not great. No,
there's 2 of those.
There's 2 Origins Wolverine.
There's 2. Yeah, there's 3 Wolverine movies.
Oof. What was the other one?
I think it's called The Wolverine.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, yikes. When they get a little more into the story.
Okay. But hey,
still,
we still like the guy playing Wolverine.
Yes, we do. Can't wait for him to come back. 100 years later, still killing it. Just let me dance, guys. Just let me dance.
So yeah, I'm super excited, jazzed up for X-Men 97. I believe that comes out the end of March. That's sneaking up on us. It'll be here before we know it.
Disney's usually once a week, unless they don't like the product.
Disney is usually once a week. I wonder if this will change because it's an animated thing.
That's true.
But then again, it's not necessarily geared toward kids either. It's really geared toward our age group who grew up watching that X-Men.
It's the continuation, yes.
We shall see. JoeMeZ, one other thing that I watched this week. This was a movie I didn't even hear of until it came up in the top 5 box office list from a while back, and you had to explain it to me. It's a Jason Statham movie called The Beekeeper.
Yes, baby.
Now, I believe you've also seen this movie, right?
I did. It was one of the movies. I said I watched 3 new releases. I talked about 2 of them. The Beekeeper was that third one.
I watched this movie this week. I was in the mood for something new, right? I said, give me
Yeah.
something fresh. And I sat down and I watched The Beekeeper. Going in, and I expected a fun little action movie. That's what I was told this is. Just have fun. It's a fun little action. And my goodness, I walked out going, this is the front runner for film of the year right now. Mark my words, February 29th, Leap Day. I'm saying it right here. The front runner, as we stand now, The Beekeeper. And I don't want to get too spoilery because I still want people to go see it if they have it available in their theaters. But Jason Statham, the premise, it's like, it's a real throwback to like these old school Schwarzenegger, like very loose concept for what necessitates action, like why action is needed.
Yes.
And then he just goes off and just does the thing.
It's so
and
good.
He's got to protect the hive. And I am here for it.
Gotta protect the hive, bro. You are telling no lies here. This movie's so much fucking fun. They fucking amp it up. You're like, yo, this is crazy. And then 15 minutes later, they throw another wrench and go, yo, this is crazy. And then they throw another wrench, and you're like, what is happening in this fucking movie? Fucking, oh my God, the best.
Like, don't go into this movie looking for seamless storytelling. Just go in there trying to have a good time. And you will. If you don't have a good time, the problem is you, my friend.
Yes, you don't like fun. This is fun. You are not like this is a good barometer to know, can I have fun at the movies? Because if you're not having fun, what are we doing? This is fun, bro. This is fucking fun. So I watched a lot of shit this week because I went on a vacation. I went on a little family vacation. I went up to Pennsylvania.
Was it all you ever wanted?
It could have been. It was all right. Could have been a little better, of course. But
were you happy to get away?
Yes, but then I was also happy to run home. We were with other families.
Is it usually spent alone?
I don't know the rest of the lyrics, dude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can I continue? So we rented a house with a bunch of families. We did stuff, but there was a lot of just chilling because we got a lot of kids, and you can only do so much at a time with the kids. They need breaks, stuff like that.
You can hide them.
I wish we did. So I did a lot of just putting on the Hulu, putting on the Tubi, just seeing what's going on over there. And like I watched things I'm familiar with. I wasn't trying to watch anything new or something people talking.
Yeah, you can't really focus when you're around that many people.
So, I put on stuff like Grandma's Boy, Dodgeball, things like that where I could just pop it in, have a good time. We watched Avengers Infinity War. Why? Because it was playing. And it was on halfway. So he said, why don't we just restart it and watch it from the beginning? And then we actually just literally sat there on the couch talking, but we watched the whole fucking movie, 240, whatever the fuck that movie is. But, oh, my God, that movie is just the fucking best, bro. Holy shit. Right? Don't you? You watch and you go, oh, man, I want that excitement again, Marvel. Give me that goodness. Oh, this was peak cinema here.
I remember walking out of the theater for Infinity War and just being like, oh my God.
Damn.
And the ending, I never expected for them to go there with the ending. So that's what was the big thing. Because before that, if you guys go back and listen to the old archived episodes, like when Captain America Civil War came out and other movies, I said, at some point, there needs to be higher stakes. You can't keep having these movies where we end back at square one, exactly where we started. Someone has to die.
Yeah.
Something needs to happen. You have to convince me that there's stakes, because all these movies just kept ending with like a happy face. Okay, maybe like we pissed off someone in a foreign government somewhere else, but they were, for all intents and purposes, everyone was alive, everyone was feeling okay, and at the end, we're all still friends. And you can't keep having that. And when Infinity War gave us that ending, that was a genuine holy shit moment.
Yes, sir. Oh, you know what's coming, but it's still like, damn, that damn Spider-Man scene. I call him Toby. That's my Spider-Man. That's my Spider-Man. I'm like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. No,
That's my Spider-Man.
Come on, everyone's got a Spider-Man, right? So we got Tobey Maguire,
Not
wonderful
me.
Spider-Man. Come on, who's your Spider-Man?
This little boy.
I mean, he's great. I do think he's the best one, but still, Tobey is ours.
Listen, even if you era adjust it using the advanced analytics, this guy, Tom Holland, he's Spider-Man. This is the definitive Spider-Man until further notice.
I agree, but I think we have some better movies. Like those Spider-Man movies, they're good. But Tobey Maguire movies, man.
Well, speaking of better movies, JoeMeZ, I was on YouTube the other night, and I told you YouTube will just suggest all these random movies to me now.
What are they doing?
So I was watching a baseball video, and as it finished up, I think I was washing a cup or something, so I wasn't in front of the remote to immediately put on something else. So it transitions into the next thing, and it put on a movie, and I watched the movie Cabin Boy with Chris Elliott.
Oh wow, Cabin Boy.
I don't think I've seen this movie since it first came out on like VHS. I'm pretty sure we rented it as a family back in the day for me and my brother to watch. Like, oh, we got to see this Cabin Boy film, God. And still not good. still not good. But I sat there, I watched the whole fucking thing, man.
I've never gone back to see it since seeing it when it first came out. And I was never a fan of Cabin Boy.
But I will say what is great is when he's on the boat and he's with all the old men. One of them is Lou Brown, the manager from the Indians in Major League. The other one is Noah Vanderhoff from Wayne's World, Noah's Arcade.
Noah's Arcade.
So it becomes like a spot the old guy game. I'm like, wait, why do I know this guy? And I'm like racking the old noodle, like what's going on? You got to tell me. So finally I gave up. I went to IMDb. I'm like, this voice sounds familiar. I'm like trying to place it. It became a fun time of spot the guy. So for that, it was worth it, but still not a good movie.
I do love a spot the guy, but yeah, it helps when it's a good movie. Cabin Boy, it is something I have wanted to revisit, but then it's just like, I don't know. You really got to be in the mood for something like that.
You really got to be in the mood for Cabin Boy.
I do. I remember the commercials, the trailers. Like, it was kind of a thing, like, shockingly, like, to think, like, such a weird-ass, stupid movie. Like, it was
as I'm watching it, I think about, like, all the movies that get released now, and we talk about they have trouble getting even into theaters and stuff.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me like Cabin Boy got a wide release.
That's what I'm saying. It was the trailers were all over the place. Chris Elliott, this weird
guy. Had a genuine promotional budget. Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's crazy to think about. And it's the truth. This is like, sure, Cabin Boy could get made now, but it's on Tubi. It's on fucking
100%. Like, it's the Hulu comedy movie for the next 3 months.
So for months, that's being generous, Joseph. Months, those movies don't last. You know that.
But they'll count that as their new release for the next 3 months.
Oh, is that what they do? Those,
like when John Cena does the movies where him and his wife go to the island and drink booze. Yeah, Vacation Friends. It's all like it'll be when you open the app. It's the first thing on your page for like the next 3 months.
It's crazy. These companies just be whatever they tell us, right? Like, and I'm sure it's the most watched movie, right? It's always the most watched movie. You never hear anyone talk. You ever hear anyone talk about those movies? They got a fucking sequel. So, like,
my favorite is when they tout it as, over 2 million minutes watched. Like, what are you, YouTube?
It's ridiculous. I don't know what to believe. Did you see, Joe, that maybe we're old men here. But the NBA All-Star game was up like 14% in the ratings this year.
And we hated it.
And but like everyone I hear, like I haven't heard anyone
I haven't heard anyone saying anything. I heard the entire weekend was bad. Outside of the Steph Curry and Sabrina Ionescu, or however you say her last name, outside of their shooting competition, I heard the dunk contest was bad.
Yeah,
I heard I saw the last quarter of the All-Star game, but every insider, pundit, everything I've heard has excoriated the actual game itself.
I don't know, but it was up a couple mil, like 1.5 million viewers, whatever. Like, okay, that's pretty crazy to me.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works, but again, are they saying, counting because it was on 2 channels and maybe it's streamed on one of the streaming apps, and like they like to combine all these numbers now to give you, like the Super Bowl number. It was 123 million, but that's counting everything. They're counting all the channels, the streaming, they're counting everything. I don't know. Can't be trusted, these bastards.
Did you watch anything else this week, JoeMeZ, or should we get into our...
We could get into it. Yeah, I didn't watch anything. Like I said, just the stuff that I rewatched that really, dodgeball. It's still funny, guys. Watch it. What am I gonna say?
Is it still funny?
I don't think it's like I wouldn't keep it up on the top of my list, but I still enjoyed it. But no, it's not. I don't think it's
I can see still enjoying it, but
yes.
For me, even at the time, it was one of those movies that didn't replay well. It was great upon initial viewing, walked out of there, laughed my balls off. But when it came out on DVD and you go back to watch it, so much of the comedic factor to me was built on the surprise of it. And it didn't translate as well to a repeat viewing.
Yeah, I get it. That's what I mean. It's not going to be high on my list, but I still enjoy it. It's on TV. I would watch it. But no, when you're talking classic comedies of that era, I wouldn't throw Dodgeball up there.
I mean, I think it's good. That year, 2004, gave us a lot of good stuff.
That's what I mean. Like, I take the other ones. I take Wedding Crashers. I take a Will Ferrell movie.
I mean, Anchorman, that's my gold standard.
Nothing's being Anchorman. That's just, that's it.
Anchorman 2, not so good. Anchorman 1, that was one of those movies where every time I rewatched it, I found something different that I thought was the funniest bit in the movie.
Have you watched Anchorman 2 since we first watched it when it first came out?
I want to say maybe I watched it one more time.
Because I'm interested in giving it one more. Because I remember going, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Not great, but like I still had some fun with it, I thought. But I don't know. Maybe I
still can't. There's nothing in the movie that I can like recite or that stands out.
Where I don't remember much about
that I took away from the movie. You know what I mean?
I don't remember much about it.
I believe it's our man James Marsden again, being handsome.
Yes, he is James Marsden. That's right. That's right. Oh, he's the best, bro.
You know what?
You're a handsome fella.
I'm gonna reach out to James Marsden and see if he wants to be on this podcast.
Tell him we apparently are one of his biggest fans. We didn't realize until recently, but we pretty much love everything he does.
And he's very handsome.
Very handsome, so charming, and just I love him. What a guy.
I've only reached out to one celebrity before to try to get them to do an appearance on this show, and that was Will Smith.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say The Rock.
What are we gonna do with The Rock? Man, we used to love you.
Make good movies. Don't ruin WrestleMania.
But Will Smith is the only guy like I genuinely tried to reach out to.
Yes,
because I wanted him to come on and do an interview about the legend of Bagger Vance.
Yes, he needs to talk about. We don't want to talk about this. We don't care.
I don't want to talk about the slap. I don't want to bring up none of that. All I want to do is talk about the legend of Bagger Vance, one of my favorite movies of all time. That's it. I don't even want to talk about the next Karate Kid, the new Karate Kid with his leg. I don't want to even bring up, like, bro, I just want to know, like, what was going through your head when you're walking around Savannah, Georgia?
Do it. Let's do it again. Let's send him another message. Really hammer that it's just a Bag of Vance. Tell him we're a Bag of Vance podcast.
We are a Bagger Vance centric podcast.
And
it's actually called the Bagger of Vance's Legend podcast.
Oh, it's no worse to call JoeMeZ.
So yeah, James Marsden, if you're listening, I don't see why you wouldn't be. We think you're really handsome and fun, and we'd like you to come on this show and just shoot the shit. Maybe just let us look at you. Gaze into those piercing eyes. You know what? It's actually not bad timing. With X-Men 97 come out, we could get the Cyclops on here.
Oh, yeah. Look at that idea, man. There we go. Sign it up. Let's go.
But we did begin our March Madness bracket this week, JoeMeZ. We started in the basketball area. We watched 2 movies. The winner was voted on in our Facebook group. So if you're not already a member, feel free to jump in. It is free to join. And every week you can vote on this, and it's your votes that will pick the winner that advances to the next round of the bracket. We started with Blue Chips, and he got game. So, JoeMeZ, I'm going to start with Blue Chips.
Sure.
I think that's the place to start. Blue Chips comes out in 1994, runs an hour and 48 minutes, and at the time felt like it was really just a vehicle for Shaquille O'Neal.
Sure.
Because Shaq was one of the biggest stars, celebrities. He broke through just being an athlete. He was pop culture. He was doing ads for everything. He was everywhere. People wearing Orlando Magic jackets and apparel that have never given a shit about basketball at all, but they love this guy. There's something about seeing a giant man with smiling and laughing and being charismatic,
having a good time,
and doing Pepsi commercials. And he had his own line of toys. He used to have those Shaq Attack toys, and he had the Reebok deal. He was everywhere. Oh my goodness. Shaquille O'Neal was everywhere, and he was just one of those dudes everybody loved. So when this movie comes out, it feels like it's going to be just a vehicle to promote him, and it's really not.
No, it's not. He's what, they got 7 minutes of screen time, really, when you add it up.
So the story behind this is a college basketball coach is forced to break the rules in order to get the players he needs to stay competitive. So we get Nick Nolte playing the role of head coach Pete Bell, and his program has fallen on hard times. And the only way he can attract marquee recruits to his basketball program is by breaking the NCAA regulations and start giving them cash and houses and cars. And we get Shaquille O'Neal as a recruit. He plays Neon Budo.
Yes.
We get
a great name.
By the time this movie comes out, we get Penny Hardaway. We all knew Penny Hardaway, but when this was being filmed, he was not a really well-known superstar at that moment. And I remember in the time when this movie comes out being everybody wanted to see it because everybody loves Shaq. But I remember being very disappointed with it. IMDb, for some reason, has this rated at a 6.3. I think that is excessively high for this movie. Rotten Tomatoes is more like it. It gives it a 38% with an audience score of 51%. Now, when you get these celebrity movies, you think there's going to be like a boon to the box office numbers. Not here, my friends. On a $35 million budget, it only brings in $26 million worldwide. A big flop. Really, the story is the whole thing, and it's really about the coach. It focuses on Nick Nolte, and it's Nick Nolte's internal struggle with if he really wants to go down the cheating route. Is he going to go against all his morals and ethics and start paying players just to bring his program back to prominence?
First losing season, bro. He's all fucked up. What am I gonna do? Well, we're gonna cheat. I love it. Like, let's start cheating. Okay.
See, now, this was a big part of the national conversation back then. Like, these college kids are always doing this or getting this. Basketball makes the joke repeatedly throughout the movie. Like, do you think Shaq got rich playing in Orlando? And everyone goes, no, Shaq got rich in college. Everybody knows that.
Yes, it's always been the thing. Until recently now where you could actually pay them to this day. It's always an issue.
The NIL money. Name, image, and likeness rights.
Ooh, yes. You're not getting paid for that. You get paid for that. It's so silly. Such a silly thing. But yeah, I mean, back then, and what I love is, so this movie's, so old. And one of the first things in the movie talking about, man, these kids today, they're not playing ball. They're just driving to the hoop. All they want to do is dunk the ball. They're not playing fundamentals. It's so fucking funny, man. It's the same shit. They just change up what it is.
I was going to say substitute dunking for taking 3-pointers now.
It's so, I'm dying. It's like one of the first things you hear. I'm like, this is hysterical. Any sports movie, no matter what, that's what people talk about. These kids these days.
So this is said to be based on the career of a coach named Tates Locke. And he was the coach at Clemson from 1970 to 75. And I guess he did some of these illegal activities that came out in a Sports Illustrated expose in 1982. So I guess this is loosely based on this story. We get a lot of cameos here. We get cameos from Rick Pitino, Bobby Knight, some of the
stuff.
some of the big college coaches of the time. We get Larry Bird in here for a hot second. He's actually got lines. One of the cool things about the Larry Bird scene is where Nick Nolte meets him is actually Larry Bird's property. And that court, where that court he's playing on in French Lick is the same court that they filmed the Converse sneakers commercial back in the 80s with Larry and Magic Johnson.
That's so cool.
So, like I said, brought in $26 million, came in 57th domestically in 1994. JoeMeZ, I'll give you some guesses if you can guess the two movies that sandwich blue chips.
94. We're going to go with...
So you need movie number 56 and 58.
What's the 94? We're going to go with Cool World. And
I think Cool World was even earlier.
I think I was like 92.
I was going to say like 92 maybe.
I have no clue. Because I'm thinking of old movies, but 94.
Brother, you ain't never getting these.
Carnosaur 3.
No.
And...
So at number 56, we have The Piano.
Wow, okay.
And at number 58, Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit.
Wow, see, I could have maybe guessed that one. Wow, that did so bad, huh?
How many guesses would you have needed to get that one?
No, it would have been a while. But Sister Act, I can't believe how low that is. I thought Sister Act was
I was a little bit surprised, too, because I actually thought the first Sister Act had a lot of good buzz. I remember seeing it when it first came to video. Got like rented and we all watched it because like Whoopi was family friendly.
Yes.
And I remember thinking like, oh, this movie's like pretty fun. Like I thought a sequel would have done well, but apparently not so well. Do you know what the number one movie 30 years ago was?
Is this Jurassic Park or is this next? What year is this?
Jurassic Park was the year before.
Year before 90. So 94.
Animated movie.
Oh, so then it's Disney, right? So what is it's not Aladdin, it's Lion King?
It is the Lion King.
Lion King, okay.
But what stands out, so Lion King is number one. The domestic take seems a little low to me. $295.6 million.
Really? Okay.
We live in a culture where we're used to seeing these enormous numbers up top on these lists, right? So 295.6 seems low to me for the number one movie of the year.
Sure, but I think that's like one of the highest grossing animated movies at the time. I think that was at the time.
I'm sure if we back then as well, and if we adjust it for inflation now, like what does that look like in 2024 dollars? Is probably $2 billion, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a money scientist.
So blue chips, Joe. Did you you've seen this before? Like you?
I have seen this before. I didn't go see it in theaters. I wanted to, but going to the movies was a privilege in my house. Sure. I didn't get to see it in theaters, but I did get to see it when it came to VHS.
Yeah, same thing.
I remember hearing all the chatter that people didn't like it and they were disappointed. And when I finally saw it, I felt the same way. I was disappointed. I wasn't really into it. I wanted more Shaq. I wanted it to be Shaq's movie. And it definitely was not Shaq's movie.
Yes, I said you got an adult movie about a man dealing with his inner turmoil. You know,
but one of the things that did appeal to me was the appearance of Ed O'Neill, who plays like the investigative journalist here, because I was, as a big Married with Children fan, seeing Ed O'Neill in anything. He
never really did anything,
He really wasn't. He was so typecast in that role for so long that he wasn't getting the opportunity to do really a lot of things at all at that point. But whoever the director was had worked with Ed O'Neill on something else in the past, so he brought him in to give him this role. And think about like the decades that he was just Al Bundy. Now you have a whole generation of people that only know him as the guy from Modern Family. So
100%, he's the dad from Modern Family. I think that'll be his last, because it's just like we forget about all that old stuff and Modern Family. Yep, that's it.
Well, you're talking about almost 30 years now since Married with Children was last on the air as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty crazy to have a career that you could do that 30 years later to have
100%
number one. And
when you think about
he's a major part of the show too. It's not like he's a big deal.
When you think about it, to play, and we kind of talked about this when Carl Weathers passed away, like to play these multiple iconic roles.
Yeah.
Maybe you get one. If you're super lucky, you get
That's
one.
what you hope for. to get one role that you'll be like, yep, that was the shit. To have 2, 3, what?
Even in the movie Airheads, like Chaz says, he goes, all I need to do is write one song that lives forever. It's just getting there once.
Just
And
once.
now you're talking about a guy who did 10 seasons of Married with Children, high-rated show, loved show, beloved show, showed in syndication over and over and over for years and years and years. And then, 15 years later, comes out and does another 10 years on Modern Family, another beloved show, gonna be around forever in syndication and reruns and streaming and wherever else you can find it. It's gonna be everywhere. Maybe it's not the variety of roles like a real actor wants to be doing, but when you have that kind of iconography attached to your career, that's incredible.
It's pretty awesome. Can't complain. It's like, I roughed it for a few years, but now I'm mega on top again. Like, it's like, okay.
So I did finally see it on VHS. Wasn't really a fan, and watching it back again this week, not really a fan. I feel like this movie does a very poor job of capturing any of the emotion or any of the real drama. Nick Nolte is telling you he's going through internal strife, but at no point do you ever really feel it.
Stop to take a minute to, I guess the only scene would be when he tries to go to the ex-wife and she tells him, no, you can't be here. That's like the only time where he's just kind of got to wallow in his misery there. Yeah.
And even the basketball scenes, I feel like, are very underwhelming. They do a poor job of capturing the actual excitement of a basketball
game. It's a lot of the coach. It's a lot of focusing on the coach. You'll see a pass, and then the focus is on the coach. Pass the damn ball. You're yelling at the ref, shit like that. Yes, I agree. I do enjoy the movie because I think Nick Nolte's good. Like, I enjoy, like, he's doing it. Like, he's doing it. I agree. They could be a little more show than tell. But I'm enjoying the movie and seeing him go through it.
So in the lead up to this movie, he actually shadowed Bobby Knight for like 2 months, like going to all the Indiana games, sitting behind the bench, watching his process, watching he's basically dressed like him and acting like him throughout the movie.
Like him, kicking the ball, yelling, all that shit. Yeah.
Wearing the sweater over the collared shirt and all that. It may not be based on Bobby Knight, but he's definitely a huge influence on this movie.
Bobby Knight, for people who don't know, right? But there's got to be people like, who the fuck is Bobby Knight? That's a name, too, that just, he got in trouble. Eventually, he got in trouble one too many times, and then that's it. Bobby Knight just disappeared.
Bobby Knight was the stereotypical coach who was just overbearing and in your face and would demean you and sometimes put his hands on you. And this was all supposed to be okay because he's Bobby Knight. He's won a national championship. And Indiana is basketball country. So you do whatever Bobby Knight tells you to do. Like, what, even the thought of fighting back to Bobby Knight. Like, who do you think you are? What national championship have you won?
You're just some punk kid. This is Bobby.
Yeah.
It's true, bro. Coaches shit. That was crazy back in the day.
So that brings us to the second movie in our March Madness bracket in the basketball division. We step over to He Got Game. He Got Game comes out in 1998, so just 4 years later. Very different tone of film than Blue Chips.
Yes, sir.
And this stars Ray Allen as Jesus Shuttlesworth. Ray Allen, not an actor, NBA basketball player.
NBA basketball player.
And also Denzel Washington.
Yes, sir.
So we got some real star power here. And yet another movie that disappoints at the box office. Spike Lee attached as director and writer. This is actually the first movie in Spike's career to that point that he wrote and directed and didn't even do a cameo in.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's right. And it's, of all the movies tonight, like, he could have just been a guy on the street. He could have just been walking down the block in Coney Island on the fucking Ferris wheel. It's so funny.
The movie has a budget of $25 million, only grosses 21.5.
Barely made it money.
So it's basically a flop. IMDb gives it a 6.9. Okay. Rotten Tomatoes, 80% fresh. The audience score of 83% fresh. And this is the story of a basketball player whose father must try to convince him to commit to a certain college so he can get a shorter prison sentence. The story here is that Jake Shuttlesworth, as played by Denzel Washington, is trying to convince his big-time high school prospect son to commit to big state college. And if he does that, they will give him a shorter sentence. He is in prison for murdering his wife and the mother, obviously, of Jesus Shuttlesworth here. Interesting story, to say the least.
Love high concept movies like this. Yo, you're in jail. We're going to let you out of jail for a week. If you could get your son to sign to this college, we'll let you be a free. I love shit like that. That's great. Great idea. Something
and
different.
He's on a time limit. They give him a week.
He's got
they
a
put
week.
him
Let's
in the
go.
most seedy hotel in Coney Island you can find. He's got the ankle bracelet. His like parole officer, if you want to call him that, is played by the great Jim Brown, the Hall of Fame running back.
It's great. Love shit like that.
And we get a lot of people kind of walking around in here. It becomes a spot the guy movie. Obviously, Rosario Dawson. This is basically a Rosario Dawson podcast. It feels like sometimes she's in this as the girlfriend of Jesus. She plays Lala, his high school sweetheart. Yes. Are they going to be together? But everybody's trying to get a piece of Jesus here. That's what you do when you have a guy who you know is going to be a millionaire at some point. Got to get your piece. Except the dad. The dad doesn't want a piece. He just wants a shorter prison sentence.
He just want to get out of jail, bro. I love this movie because this is 98. Teenager. So it's like my first Spike Lee movie. It's like my first Denzel movie. I probably didn't see another Denzel movie before this, and Denzel, I'm like, yo, this fucking Denzel guy is pretty fucking good. And then Ray Allen, who don't love Ray Allen was the best. I love Ray Allen growing up because of this movie also. Because to see a guy like, oh, this guy made a movie, I want to follow his career. So then you got to follow, see what he does. So I always rooted for Ray Allen.
And he's a young player at that point. I think he'd been in the league for like a year. He wasn't the original choice to play the role of Jesus, but once it was offered to him, he took it immediately.
Of course, to be in a Spike Lee movie back then, that's a big deal, bro. So, I remember.
So I first saw this movie on cable. I talk about having the illegal cable box back in the day, and when this came to pay-per-view, I remember sitting down and watching it because it was a basketball movie, and I'm going to sit and watch sports movies. Was kind of surprised by the serious nature of the movie, especially at that time. Definitely was not in my wheelhouse, but I remember enjoying it. I've always enjoyed this movie from as far back as I can remember. I like the performances. I like the story. And there's one scene in particular where I was like, all I want to do is be a highly recruited athlete. Because when he goes to whatever college it is on his visit, and they open the door, and there is Jill Kelly and Chasey Lane, two of the most popular adult film stars at the time. Like, 100%. This is them at peak time.
Yes,
they're laying in that bed, waiting to show Jesus a good time, give him an excuse to commit to this college. I said, this is what I want with my life.
I want to go away to college.
I want to go away to college.
Started picking up the basketball. Started dribbling that ball.
It was way too late for me by that point.
Never say never.
But that scene stood out to me so strongly, especially I think at this time I'm maybe 16 when this movie comes out.
To see a porn star in a mainstream, what?
And like, it wasn't just any porn. It wasn't just a hot girl topless. You know what I mean? Like, these were two of the biggest porn stars, and they weren't called by their real names in the movie. It's not like they said, hey, we brought in these porn stars for you, Jesus. It's like Susie and whatever else they're calling it. So they gave them fake names like they're just college co-eds. But I'm like, my God, like, this happens. This happens to real, like, when real top tier athletes are going on their recruiting process, this is the kind of, like, who wouldn't want this? Like, bribe me with everything. Everything. You're going to offer money? I will take it. Cars? Yes. Women? Absolutely. I want it all. I am far beyond reproach.
I love it. It's true.
No scruples. No scruples here.
Oh man, I love that I was gonna bring it up and you brought it up first. God bless.
Spike Lee originally wanted another young NBA player who had just finished his rookie season to play the role of Jesus Shuttlesworth. And that boy's name was Kobe Bryant.
Yes, sir.
And Kobe read the script. Kobe wanted to do the movie. But after his rookie season, he kind of flamed out against the Jazz in the playoffs. And he had committed to like a rigorous strength and conditioning program in the offseason because he didn't want to wear down like he did in the regular season. So he was so committed to that, he said, I'm not going to be able to do this movie. So it went on to the next couple of people. And I guess Stephon Marbury was considered, Allen Iverson was considered, but neither one of them had any interest in auditioning. So the fact that they didn't want to audition,
they just wanted it. Yeah.
Yep. If it was given to them, they'll show up and do it. But if the fact that you wanted them to audition, Spike was like, not happening.
It's like, bro, you're not an actor. It's like, what are you doing? Like, come on.
In comes Ray Allen. He takes it. And I think for the most part, it works out really well. I don't think Ray Allen hampers this movie, even as a non-actor.
No. He's playing his part. I think he does a good job with it. Kobe Bryant, I mean, it's got to be a total different movie, right? Just because the character itself, like, it's just, I don't know, like, because, you think of Kobe one way, so it's like, is he going to be acting the same way Jesus was acting? Like, I don't know.
That's the thing is the intensity that I associate with Kobe Bryant.
That's what I mean.
I don't see him not bringing that to the movie. Like, I don't see him like, half-assing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I see him going to Spike, even though he ain't shit, going, I don't know, Spike. I don't know if I would do that, he'd be trying to rewrite script and shit. Like, I totally see Kobe doing that shit. Oh, what if? And that's a great what if.
One thing about this movie that I found very odd in rewatching it, the music selection, the score of this movie, there's a lot of weird, like old-timey big band kind of songs.
It's very, you wouldn't think it was a basketball movie that you're watching.
At all.
But I wonder if he's trying to build that drama, especially because like it builds to the basketball game at the end where they play each other. And during that, like, it's very, like, you think you're watching fucking Batman or something. Like, it feels like a total different, like a real battle between. So maybe that's what he was going for, something like that.
And that game at the end actually is a real battle because the original script had it for Jesus just to win 11-0 or something. And Spike said, you know what? Just play for real and we'll see what we need or what we get. Denzel actually goes up 5-0.
Love it.
And then Ray Allen gets pissed off.
Of course.
Scores the next 10, and Spike called cut and that they were done for the day.
Hysterical. It's a great, that basketball game at the end is fantastic. I fucking love it. I'm just like, this is so good. This is good. I'm a
like
big
when
fan
people Denzel, you almost get sick of hearing about because everybody harps on how great he is.
He's great.
But if you actually watch his work, he deserves
the every accolade, flowers, whatever you want to call it. He deserves it all. Denzel is a top 2 actor of our generation. He is fan-fucking-tastic.
And I'm not going to tell you all his movies are incredible.
No, they're not.
His performances,
he brings it,
even in bad movies, are always top. There's that movie Flight where he plays the drunk pilot.
Yes.
On its
throwaway
surface,
movie.
It's a fucking silly throwaway movie. Exactly. And yet he's so committed to the role where, like, even I'm watching that, like, I'm on the edge of my seat, like, oh, fuck. I believe every word this man is saying right now.
The courtroom scene at the end, what? Oh, it's incredible. He's great. He is. And not saying, like, I'm pretty sure, like, this is the first time I'm watching Denzel, and I'm like, this guy is fucking good, bro.
Well, like we were saying, this movie comes out when I'm about 16, so you're about 14. Blue Chips, even earlier than that. We're taking another 4 years off the top there. There comes a point where you're watching movies, but you don't fully appreciate what you're just there to be entertained, right? And I would say for me, I probably go into my 20s before I'm actually looking at movies in a way to 100%. Be appreciative of them, outside of things that are just readily apparent and obvious.
100%. I feel the same way. Like, if I seen a movie when I was 10, 12 years old, I pretty much say, yeah, I really haven't watched the movie. Like I haven't really seen it because you haven't. That happened to me in high school. I took a film class, and that just opened me up to, appreciating film. I always liked movies, but then this guy, my teacher taught me to appreciate everything about it. The cinematography. Look what he was doing there. Look what he's doing there. And then that's when I started. Here we go. So look at that. School works. School is good. It unlocks things. Look at that.
We say Tubi is the place to go to find the most random stuff. And last week, when I was in Pittsburgh, I was just looking for something to watch. I put on Tubi.
Yeah.
And in the suggested comes up this documentary about Kevin Smith, and it's just called Clerk. And it's a legit documentary, and Kevin's involved and everything. And even he talks about, like, movies were just movies, and he always liked movies, and his dad would take him to movies. So he associates going to the movies with, good times with his dad. And then he saw this one movie, and off the top of my head, the name escapes me, but it changed the way he thought about film. It was like, wait a minute, this guy just made a movie that's this. He's like, I feel like I can do that. And it spoke to him in a way. It was like an awakening, an epiphany, if you will. And I think that's for a lot of us. Whenever we have something we like, you can think about it on a much deeper level. I watched baseball my entire life. And yet when I started reading different writers as I got into my late teens and early 20s, like the book Moneyball changed the way I looked at a game I've been watching as far back as my memories can go. It's a completely different game to me now.
Yeah.
Some people will say that's for better. Some people will say that's for worse, but you look at things differently through a different prism. And it's the same thing with movies. And for anything else, in all honesty, that you enjoy, you can do this and find deeper meaning and deeper conversation, facts, fiction. What are we looking at here? I see it with the Major Wrestling Figure podcast, for instance. We got the guy D Freedom who comes in and analyzes the paint deco on the figures. To me, I've never looked at figures that deeply, but then he says something that brings something, and you're like, oh, he's fucking right, man.
That.
And it becomes like an eyesore. Now you can't unsee it. I mean, there are a lot of things he says that I think are like too nitpicky, whatever, that's me. Sure. But then there are some things where you're like, my goodness gracious, this guy's got an eye for stuff like you can't even imagine.
My movie was Usual Suspects. When I saw Usual Suspects and that ending hit me, I was like, holy shit. Movies are crazy. Like, you're like, whoa. Oh, I love it.
That was a big movie at the time that I remember, like,
yes.
Oh, do you know who Kaiser Soze is? Yep. Like, it had a lot of chatter about it. So those were our first two movies of the March Madness year, JoeMeZ. What do you say we hit some music?
Yes, sir.
Are you a man? A double main man? Are you a man? A triple main man? A man? A quadruple main man? Are you a man? Are you a man?
All right, Joe. How you want to do this today with our main man standings? We want to one at a time. Just give a winner. What do we want to do here?
Let's give our own grades. But like we said, it's not our votes that matters. It's the vote of people within our group. But both of us did vote in that poll as well.
Yes, we did. All right. So we'll start with Blue Chips since that's what we started with here. Where's Blue Chips fall on your main man standings?
Still a disappointing movie to me. Like I said, there still seems like a genuine lack of ability to capture the emotion of what's going on in this movie. It takes away a lot. And I think the focus should be more. I understand what the story is, but especially for the movie, what it should have been at that time period should have been the focus more on the players and especially Shaquille O'Neal. So for that reason, I find it pretty much a slog the entire way through. I'm going to give Blue Chips a 6.5 main man.
Wow. Okay. So I definitely don't hate the movie like you. I don't love. Well, I'm gonna give it a 2.5. I think it's good, not great. I think if you're into what Nick Nolte's doing, I think that would determine how you feel about the movie, right? Because I mean, it's pretty much him and he's bouncing off a couple people, but it's pretty much him going through it, shit like that. Yeah, 2.5 sounds about right there. Then we have He Got Game, Spike Lee's basketball joint from 1998. Where's that for on your main man standings, baby?
Remember liking it when I first saw it. Still like it to this day. I don't think it's a perfect movie by any means. There was some tightening up in the plot we could have used here, but I still find it to be a very enjoyable movie. And Denzel's performance, especially, like I said, the man is great in everything. Like he's amazing. I don't know what else to say about a guy that is universally regarded as one of the best at his profession. You know, what can I say that's gonna supersede anything like that? So I'm gonna say this movie is a 3.5 main man.
Yeah, I think it's 3.5, 4. Yeah, I might give it a 4, but that might be because of my nostalgia and loving it. So we'll do 3.5. We'll give it the 3.5, and so that obviously means that we both voted.
Both of us voted for He Got Game.
He Got Game. Sadly, that did not work out for us, as it was a romp. Yeah. Because Blue Chips got 65% of the votes. You guys just killed this thing. And from the start, I mean, as soon as I put that poll up, Blue Chips had like 7 votes. It
was a shutout for a bit there.
Yeah, right away. It was like, oh, shit, okay. And it continued on for the rest of the weekend. And it pains me, but hey, the crowd has spoken. And Blue Chips moves on to the next rounds to take on Hoosiers. Okay. Interested to see how that one plays out. I don't know. We'll see.
So where does that bring us for next week then, JoeMeZ?
I was thinking maybe we could jump on over to the hockey bracket. Let's do some hockey maybe. What do you think?
Oh, let's do that hockey.
So in our hockey bracket, our buy team or buy movie is Slapshot, right? The classic Slapshot, when people talk about
universally pretty much regarded as the preeminent
hockey movie. So we moved that on to the second round, excuse me. So let's see who's gonna win the chance to take on Slapshot. Will it be the Mighty Ducks, those lovable Mighty Ducks, or will it be Kurt Russell rallying the troops in Miracle? What's it gonna be, folks?
Oh, nice. Now I believe both these movies are available on Disney Plus, so easy watching for everyone involved.
Yes,
based on how our group voted this week, I would think this is an easy run for the Mighty Ducks.
I would think so. I think we didn't really do any like heavy nostalgic picks on here except for Mighty Ducks, which I think that's gonna be a romp. But I don't know. You hockey boys, Miracle's a big deal. So I don't know.
It was I believe last week was the anniversary, the 44th anniversary of the Miracle on Ice.
Have I seen Miracle? I think I seen it once when it first came out, but I haven't seen it since then. I'm trying to think. So I'm interested to give it another shot here. I don't really remember. I know what happens, but
I've definitely seen it. I remember liking it. It's not a movie I've like rewatched 100 times or anything like that by any means. Mighty Ducks was a movie that I rewatched 100 times and actually probably played a big role in making me as serious of a hockey fan as I am. It's probably between Mighty Ducks and the Sega Genesis NHL video games. It was a good time to be a hockey fan. So
I was gonna say, being a kid growing up and have a kids hockey movie, I mean, it's pretty awesome. There haven't been many kid hockey movies since then, has there? So
yeah, right.
It was a perfect time, the perfect storm for you to fall in love with hockey. That's good.
So that'll be for next week. But JoeMeZ, before we get there, we got to finish up this week.
Oh, yeah, we do. Let's get that wheel going, baby. It's now time for the big finish. All right, Joe. Big finish time. We're going to do a proper big finish this week. I hope everyone enjoyed our thing last week. We're spinning this wheel. Let's see what we got here. Oh,
I made it.
Okay. All right, Joe. It was close to Would You Rather, but we're going back to fuck, marry, and kill. Joseph, today's edition, we got Miley Cyrus, Selena Gomez, Demi Lovato, the old
This is
school
tough.
Disney girls. The old school Disney girls, Joe. What are we going to do here? I have an idea, but I don't know. I'm trying to think. I think you got to marry Selena. I think you got to marry Selena. And then it comes down to who you can tolerate a little more, right? I think that's how it works. For me, I got to go with Demi. Demi is just, to me, she's perfection. I think she's beautiful and the body just perfect to me. Miley Cyrus, I think it's a lot of talking. I think we get a lot of this with Miley, right? Everyone's gonna be like, you gotta fuck Miley. You gotta. I don't know. I think it's a lot of talk. I don't know if it's good. That's just me. So I'm killing Miley. What are you thinking, Joe? That's just how I'm coming with it.
Man, this one's really tough because there are things about each one that I like that are different from the other one. You know what I mean? So it's three very distinctly different people, and I like their work. I enjoy their songs by all three of them.
They're all great. They all do great things. 100%.
Oh man, Selena's on that show. What is it? Only Murders in the Building.
Only Murders in the Building. I saw season 1. It's good. I've never gone back to it, but it's not because it's just there's 100,000 things. But I enjoyed it. Look at Joe like struggling.
I really am. Like you said, marry Selena, and I see the reason for it. I feel like she would be the sweetest.
I think she's more chill. I think you have more fun with her.
I think she would probably be the best wife. If I could see myself kind of matching up with any one of the three, I feel like Selena would be the best partner. You know what I mean?
And it's not to say she's beautiful, and of course, but this is strictly who we gonna hang out with, have a good time. I do think,
but for that reason, I kill her.
Oh no! What? Poor Selena. What's the matter? What happened?
There's something about Miley where I'm like, you know what? She's nuts, but I want that nuts. So I'm gonna marry Miley.
You're a crazy motherfucker. Oh my god. Wow. That was a swerve.
And using the same logic where I can't just do that to Selena. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna kill her off, spare her the indignity of having to rest beside me, and then Demi would have to take the fuck position.
Oh my goodness. Joe with the swerve. All right. I hope you love your crazy marriage. But then swinging at each other.
And then I get to meet Dolly Parton. Like that factors into it.
That's not a bad, that's a good reason. I can't fault you with that. You get to hang out with Dolly. All right. Oh, that's good.
I try to think about these things in the time allotted. You know what I mean?
Sure. Exactly. And this one doesn't work because they all got that Disney money, right? They all got that cash.
The money doesn't even play a factor here.
I love it. Oh, let us know on the Facebook group, guys. What are you thinking? Is Joe off base? Me? I don't know. I think you can't go wrong with anything, but I don't know. Marrying Miley, I don't know about that one.
Thank you guys for listening to the Card JoeMeZ podcast. Remember to follow us on all the social media at Card JoeMeZ. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/@CardJoeMeZpod. Join our Facebook group. It's free. Come talk about what we're watching, what we like, what else is coming out, or any new foods you had. Like you said, we talked about the new Wendy's stuff and that new cheesa from KFC that I'll be checking out soon. So remember to also subscribe to my YouTube over at youtube.com/JoeShoes and follow all my stuff at the Joe Shoes all across social media.
The Gomez 154, Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, all that fun stuff. And as always, that Twitch stream, twitch.tv/MEZMovie. Come on down. Let's have some fun together.
We'll be back next week with the hockey bracket portion of our March Madness tournament. Remember to get your votes in the Facebook group. Pick between the Mighty Ducks and Miracle. Which one will advance to face off against the Paul Newman Classic Slapshot? So that's for next week. But JoeMeZ, for now, why don't we make like Tom and cruise?
Peace.